Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Emily. I'm a mom who loves home decor, thrifting, and a good DIY project. We're gonna be doing part one of a dining room makeover. So in our house, we have a formal dining room that I kind of turned into like kids craft homeschool room. It's right off of the living room and it just kind of feels nice to have that area as like, you know, more of a living area. Here is the kitchen nook, how it looks now. Basically, this table, you guys might remember this table. This table is actually the table that I painted black in our last rental. And right before we moved, I stripped the top and sanded it down and painted the legs. And we had sold our antique table that I refinished. We sold the chairs. We sold that whole set before the move and we decided to just make it work with this table. And yeah, this kitchen nook is kind of a weird spot because we have our garage, a bathroom, and our laundry right there. Spot is always super congested, whether there's a laundry basket or coats or shoes, and it's always a disaster. And then the chairs, my children are always moving the chairs around. Why is that something that they feel they need to do? I don't know. They're dragging the chairs over into the kitchen and it's just a lot. It's a little space and a lot. What I decided was that we needed a round table. And if you're wondering, we have tried this table pretty much every way. We've had it horizontal, vertical, like we've had it all the different ways and it just always never feels right. So I felt like we need a round table in this space. It took me to Facebook Marketplace. I wasn't in any huge rush to find something, but I came across this pine table that has 2 leaves and came with 6 chairs I got it for $225. So I was pretty happy with that. It's a vintage table. It's like North Carolina pine or something like that. The person who owned it was like this old man and he had it for years and years and years and years. Now you guys, you know the space, you know the problem. We need a new table and chairs. This video is going to be all about refinishing this table and chair set. Part 2 of this video, we're gonna paint, we're gonna hang some art, we're gonna do all of that. But for this video, we're gonna focus on this table and chairs. This is now like second, kind of third table that I've refinished. So I had learned a lot from my first table. First thing I did was strip the legs. I wanted to get this pine down to the raw pine. I love raw pine and the color of it. I just think it's so beautiful. Wanted to strip down these legs. I used citrus strip and I scrubbed them and then I also hand sanded them. It was a lot and they still aren't even like perfect. After the legs were done, I started work on the top and I sanded it and the top was a beast to sand. I could have stripped it, but just almost felt like more work to have to strip it and then sand it. So I just went to town sanding this thing. Here she is. Sorry about the harsh sun. Looking so pretty. I did all the legs, but I gotta do like the under part. I have been sanding in the rain and it's like so magical. I'm in the garage, but the garage is open. It's all rainy and like very fall dreary day. You guys want to see the table? Here it is. I just need to finish the edge on this side. I do notice that there's some, I guess you can tell a little bit. There's some red in this pine and I never really love red in wood. So I don't know, I'm toying with staining the table. The legs are a really nice tone. I do need to finish sanding under here still. Yeah, and so I might play around with it, but it's looking really pretty. Really pretty. This pine had a lot of red in it. There was like big strips of red and I knew that I was gonna bleach it. We actually had leftover bleach from when I bleached my last table. So that's what I just decided to do. Bleaching this table made this table like almost white pine, which was nice. But then the legs were a totally different color, and I loved the color of these legs actually. And I was left with a dilemma, trying to decide if I should match the top to the legs, and that's what I did on my last table, and we never got a perfect match, and it was really like frustrating process. So this time I decided to bleach the legs. That way I have one type of slate I'm working with. Everything is nice and bleached and basically one color, and then I can stain from there. So that's what I did. I bleached the legs. I did have to buy more bleach to do that. Now I'm left with this very light white pine table. And as much as I love white, bright wood, I really wanted the pine to look like antique pine that it should, kind of like the color the legs used to be. So that brought me to make a custom stain. A little bit of a hot mess, but I've been working on this table for weeks. I'm sure I've already filled you guys in on what we've done so far, but of course now I'm like, I should show you. So here's my first official clip showing you guys. So let's show you the table. Just stained the top of this, and obviously I have not stained that side yet. I haven't stained the legs yet. They're not that far off actually, but you can see over here they definitely don't match, so I need to stain the legs. But my goal with this was to try and match this chair. Don't mind that this is not fully finished being stripped, but this color right here is what we're going for. So I actually think it's nearly spot on. I'm very, very happy. I created a custom stain, and this is early American mixed with wood conditioner mixed with colonial maple, which is very orange. Pine is naturally really orange, and so I was trying other stains, and maybe because I bleached it, it was coming out like fluorescent yellow. So I'm pretty sure I've told you, but the table was been bleached, tan washed, which kind of turned out to look more like a whitewash, and then I did do a small little orange wash over it, but it still just looked like that white table. So this stain is kind of going over a tan wash, and yeah, it's wood conditioner, like half wood conditioner, and then equal parts of the colonial and early American. But it's kind of like a custom stain. Like, I don't think if you guys tried that on a random piece of wood, it would turn out nice. But it's working on the table. This piece was my testing thing. I've tested tons. I kind of washed over that big spot with a big one. Yeah, anyways, this thing's kind of been through it now, so I'm gonna have to like sand that down and figure that all out. But anyways, let's keep staining the top. I stained the two leaves. This is the one that I had like patched on, and I sanded it, and clearly it's now a little different. I probably sanded through the bleach and some stuff. It's not like terribly different, but it is a little bit different. The table, truthfully, my plan is to use this as a round table. Like, I don't actually want to use it as an oval table, but I figure for selling purposes in the future, anything like that, I really wanted to make sure that I still had the leaves, like, and that they matched. This part you won't see, but I did like do the tops just in case the cracks showed. So yeah, it is finally time for me to seal the table. The chairs aren't done. I actually have one chair. That's like 90% done, and it's looking really good. But it's time to seal the table. So I am gonna seal it, and I'm gonna do the legs too, just so hopefully it like locks the color in and there won't be any like color change over time. but the top will need like multiple coats, and I use a water-based matte poly. So this is the one that I got, water-based matte poly, clear matte interior. So yeah, this is what we're gonna use on the top, and kind of looks like glue, and it does dry very clear and very matte. Just gonna use this brush, but I've used sponges, I've used lots of different things. I'm not sure like the best thing because I'm not a professional, but I think a brush is nice to use. Table is all done, did the legs, did the under part, it's all drying. So just did these, so you can still see a little white, and this will dry, and I'll show you guys obviously how it dries. It dries super matte. You can just really lightly sand the top after, and then I'll go again and do another coat on top. I'm going to work on 2 chairs. So I have this one chair that I stripped. It still needs a little bit more hand sanding in a couple spots, but for the most part, I think it looks good. I'm gonna do 2 chairs. Whenever I've stripped things, I've always used citrus strip. I used on this chair, which I feel like is very controversial, so if you got some hate comments, just keep them to yourself. But I'm going to be using Easy Off, and worked really great on this. I've heard it works if you don't have like a varnish or a poly on your wood. So if you already have like raw wood, but like a stain, which is what these chairs are, then the Easy Off method can work really well. The reason I wanted to use Easy Off is because the citrus strip always has such a cleanup. It's very gooey, and I just was like, that felt super messy. This ended up also being a little bit messy. I would say a little bit less messy than the citrus strip. Anyways, I'm gonna use Easy Off. They're both sprayed. I'm gonna let them sit for like 15-20 minutes. I'm gonna fill, I've used this bucket many times for this type of project. But I'm just gonna fill this with water, and then I use a scrub brush and scrub them off. I rinsed them off, and now they need to dry. So you guys can see they pretty much look the same when they're dark like this, when they're wet like this, but they will dry way lighter. A couple days later, the chairs are all dry, and you can see some spots, even though I scrubbed extra hard, some spots didn't get scrubbed off, but this is how most of the chair looked. So yeah, I'm using my big sander to get these big spots, and then we're hand sanding around like the little areas and up and down the spindles, just on spots that got missed. The chairs are not done. They're looking really good. The light's kind of making them look a little, I don't know, not as good. Yeah, I still need to seal them, do some more hand sanding, and finish. And I actually have 3 more chairs that need completely stripped. But I have been working on this table and chairs project, I think, for 2 months. Just slowly chipping away at it. And I really want to get this video out for you because we are starting to paint. So it's time to get part 1 finished. So I am going to style up the table and the chairs. Even though the chairs aren't done, the table is fully done. I will finish up the chairs at a later date. I'm gonna bring the table inside, get some chairs around it. I wanted to style up a little dining table scene since we can't have like a full reveal. I'm gonna make a little tablescape, something really beautiful. I'm gonna use my Dine with Fable dishes. I don't know if you guys remember from my kitchen sort of reno makeover I did in our last place. They're the most gorgeous pottery plates and bowls set. And we have glasses of theirs too, and mugs. And you guys, they're just, if you're looking to invest in some really amazing dishes, these are them. They're so good. I will be sure to link them down in the description box. I also think I have like a code. I'll put it in the description box. I'm gonna get it all styled up for you, and then we'll do our little mini reveal. We just brought the table out. We brought this in. We're gonna put the legs back on now and then move this and everything else. So much for watching. I hope you enjoyed part 1 of this dining room makeover. If you did, feel free to give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can subscribe for more of my everyday life. Follow me on Instagram at emilyfaith.home. Stay tuned for part 2 because we actually are hoping to paint right away, and I need to figure out something for this back wall. I can't decide if I should put up curtains. There's not too many people that can see in right there, but we might need some curtains. Maybe I could talk my husband into getting a rug, but it should be like a washable rug. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I should save this for part 2. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time.